If you listen to episode 9 of Midweek Sitrep, we talked about scam calls, phishing texts, and why your phone is the new front line in national security. And maybe you thought, all right, Jerry, I get it. But I'm smart. I don't fall for that stuff. And if you listen to this show, then you probably are. But here's the twist. You might not be the mark. You might be the bait. Because in 2025, it's not just about scamming you. It's about using your voice, your number, and your identity to scam someone else. Listen, I'm not here to scare you, but I am here to prepare you. Let's dive in. Welcome to this week's brief from Midweek Sitrep. Quick intel drops to keep you sharp, situationally aware, and one step ahead. I'm Jerry Fowler, and I'm your host. If you missed episode 9 of Midweek Sitrep, please go back and check it out. We broke down how these harmless texts, weird voicemails, and random calls are all part of a much bigger system of digital manipulation. And now, we're seeing the evidence everywhere. From fake voice calls to deepfake Zooms, the tactics are getting better, and most people have no idea what's coming. So do me a favor, share this episode with your team, your family, your group chat, because the best defense isn't fancy software, it's awareness. And right now, we're short on that. Now, speaking of evidence everywhere, last week, someone impersonated White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles using AI-generated voice cloning. That synthetic voice was used to contact Republican officials asking for favors, possibly even sensitive information. Now, the FBI is investigating, and it's clear that this wasn't a prank. It was AI-powered social engineering targeting the highest levels of government. So why does this matter? Well, it matters because the tech is cheap, the tools are public, and the attacks are personal. Your voice, your face, your name, even your phone number are now weapons in someone else's toolkit. And even if you're not the final target, you might be the access point. Let's look at what's happened just since 2024. In January 2024 in New Hampshire, Democrat voters got robocalls using a fake Joe Biden voice telling them not to vote in the state's primary elections. On TikTok, scammers ran fake ads with a deepfaked Joe Rogan promoting supplements he'd never endorsed. In Hong Kong, a finance worker was tricked into wiring $25 million after joining a Zoom call with what looked like their CFO and other executives, but they were deepfaked individuals. And here in the US, parents have received ransom calls featuring their child's cloned voice. Now, this isn't rare. This is now. This is happening. And you should be aware. Now, last week on Midweek Sitrep, I gave you some tips, things that you can do and implement that could help protect you from these types of scams. But I think now it's important to really double down on that and give you some more things that you can do. Okay, so starting out, 10 ways that you can lock it all down. Number 1 is probably the most important on this list. We covered it last week, but it's worth repeating. Be skeptical, even of familiar voices. If something feels off, verify it through a second method. Number 2, limit your clean voice samples online. Don't post long, high-quality clips unless you have to. That includes your voicemail. Number 3, switch to app-based two-factor authentication. Use Google Authenticator or other types of apps. And don't use SMS codes. Number 4, use a password manager. Anything is better than reusing the same password. You know that password 123 with a capital P? Yeah, don't do that. Make sure you have a password manager and you're making complicated passwords. While it may be annoying where you can't just rattle it off, it's going to end up saving you. Number 5, turn on spam filters. There's things with AT&T like Call Protect, Verizon's Call Filter. There's also apps like Haya, RoboKiller. Use them. Just checking to see if you're still with me. 5 down, 5 more to go. Number 6, don't click unknown links or even the unsubscribe button on sketchy messages. That just confirms that your number's real. And never, ever click a random link. Just don't do it. Number 7, forward scam text to 7726. Now that spells out spam. Then your cell phone carrier will handle the rest. But make sure you're forwarding those scam texts. Number 8, talk to your people. If you're tuned in, that's great. But what about your team at work? What about your mom? What about your grandparents, your friends? You want to make sure they're not also getting scammed. Because there's one thing that you'll realize when you start talking about these scams and you share what's happened to you and all that you've seen, you would be surprised at the stories that other people are going to have. Ones that you wouldn't even expect. This is something we are all dealing with. We need to talk about it. Number 9, set up Google alerts for your name. Know where your name and your voice are showing up online. And number 10, never engage with the wrong number texts. That, hey, is this Lisa? That text? It's a phishing recon. Don't reply. Now for leaders and compliance professionals, if you're in legal, communications, cyber, or executive leadership, this needs to be on your radar. Voice cloning is no longer a fringe threat. It's a reputation risk, a fraud risk, and a compliance risk. Update your incident response plan now. Run tabletop exercises. Train your high-profile staff. Because in 2025, reputation risk starts with a voicemail that sounds a lot like you, but it isn't. Be prepared. Now, coming up on Midweek Sitrep next week, we're going to zoom out and go deeper with episode 10, what AI really means for national security, power, risk, and the race to lead. We'll break down deepfakes, digital warfare, and how AI is reshaping influence and power on the global stage. Now that's your brief. I'm Jerry Fowler. Stay sharp, stay situationally aware, and if this helped you, please share it. Because in a world of voice clones, digital bait, and AI-driven fraud, being informed is your best defense. And remember, everything is national security. See you next week. Midweek Sitrep with Jerry Fowler is an independent production of OpScent Media Group, LLC. The information provided in this podcast is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute legal, financial, or professional advice. Listeners should consult with a qualified professional before making any decisions based upon the content discussed. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the host, Jerry Fowler, and any guest, and do not reflect the official policy, position, or endorsement of any current or former employer, client, government agency, military organization, educational institution, or any other entity for which the host, Jerry Fowler, may be affiliated. Mention of a company, product, or service does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation. Any references are provided for informational purposes only. This podcast does not disclose any classified, proprietary, or confidential information. All discussions are based upon publicly available information and personal expertise. Everything's national security. OpScent Media Group, LLC.